In the heart of the desert, beneath thousands of years of silence, one boy's face still glows in gold. It is the face that changed history, the mask of Tutankhamun. He ruled for only 10 years. He died before reaching adulthood. Yet today, no pharaoh is more famous. In Egypt, stories are not just told. They are carved into stone and carried by the desert wind through time. Why did this young ruler, forgotten by his own people, become the icon of ancient Egypt for the entire world? To find answers, we must travel back more than 3,300 years, to a kingdom collapsing under the weight of change. Tutankhamun was born into a royal family deeply divided by belief, power, and fear. His father, Akhenaten, had broken tradition, forcing Egypt to worship only the sun disk, Aten. Inside the royal palace, silence replaced music, suspicion replaced celebration. Tutankhamun was born frail, carrying medical conditions that would follow him throughout his short life. Even as a child, he lived suspended between expectation and isolation. Priests and scholars gathered around the young prince, teaching him the language of gods, the rhythm of rituals, and the fragile balance of power. And then, Nefertiti vanished. Her disappearance created one of Egypt's greatest mysteries. Temples emptied, statues of old gods were destroyed. The people of Egypt felt abandoned. Fields cracked under the sun, and families struggled to survive. Egypt was wounded. In this moment of despair, the young prince became a symbol of possible rebirth. At just 9 years old, the boy walked toward the throne of the most powerful nation on earth. The golden crown glittered, but its weight carried the burden of an entire kingdom. Behind the throne stood Ai and Horemheb, men of immense power, guiding Egypt from the shadows. The boy king changed his name to Tutankhamun, the living image of Amun, and began restoring Egypt's ancient traditions. Temples reopened, festivals returned, and little by little, Egypt began to breathe again. Tutankhamun's reign focused on healing a wounded kingdom, restoring temples, renewing traditions, and stabilizing daily life. Yet behind palace walls, the physicians documented a troubling truth: the young king's fragile health. To strengthen the royal bloodline, Tutankhamun married Ankhesenamun, his half-sister, once a daughter of Akhenaten. Amid political tension, the young couple found moments of peace, two teenagers carrying the weight of an empire. Every decision the boy king made was watched carefully by those who sought power. Outside Egypt's borders, enemy nations sensed weakness. Hittites and Nubians tested the strength of the young pharaoh's reign. Horemheb, Egypt's top general, strengthened the army, preparing for war and shaping Egypt's future. When Tutankhamun showed himself to the people, hope returned. Egypt needed to believe its king was strong. With the old religion revived, music, ritual, and artistry once again filled the royal palace. For the first time in years, Egypt felt stable. But this peace would not last. Priests lead a ceremonial procession in Thebes, presenting the teenage Tutankhamun as a divine ruler. Ritual chants restore traditions suppressed during the Amarna period. Some officials still hesitate to abandon Aten. The court balances honoring Amun publicly, while remnants of Akhenaten's rule linger. Tutankhamun's tutors intensify his lessons: math, diplomacy, hymns, and military tactics. Despite frailty, he learns quickly to lead responsibly. With temples reopening, offerings of grain, gold, and incense return, Egypt's treasury recovers, funding construction and diplomacy. During the Opet festival, priests carry Amun's sacred bark, and Tutankhamun joins, reaffirming his bond with the gods and the people. Foreign rulers resume correspondence, seeking alliances. Tutankhamun's court replies, rebuilding Egypt's international standing. Egypt's borders are fortified. Garrisons in Nubia and Sinai are supplied and strengthened to prevent raids. The young pharaoh finds peace in the palace garden, walking among lotus ponds and trees, reflecting on Egypt's future. Tutankhamun grows as a trusted confidant, offering counsel and support amid increasing political pressures. Tutankhamun and his advisors plan for Egypt's recovery, restoring temples, alliances, and prosperity. The boy king faces a new era. During a royal tour to Nubia, Tutankhamun inspected border fortifications and temples, but on this journey, fate intervened. A sudden accident left Tutankhamun with a severe leg injury. What seemed minor would have devastating consequences. In a time without modern medicine, even a small wound could become deadly. Tutankhamun's condition worsened quickly. Ancient DNA analysis suggests malaria may have struck the young king repeatedly. Fever and weakness became his constant companions. Some historians suggest a chariot accident caused the fatal injury. The speed and force could have been catastrophic. Others have whispered of murder, blows to the head, palace intrigue, or a deliberate plot. Evidence remains inconclusive, leaving history mysterious. Weak, feverish, and barely able to walk, Tutankhamun faced the last days of his short life. The kingdom watched and prayed. At just 19, Tutankhamun passed away. The boy king left behind a throne, a people in recovery, and a legacy yet to be discovered. Without an heir, Egypt teetered on instability. Officials hurried to secure power, leaving the young queen anxious and the court restless. Queen Tutankhamun wrote to a foreign king, seeking a husband to secure her position and the future of Egypt, a desperate move unprecedented in history. Tutankhamun's letter reached the Hittite king. She requested a prince to marry, hoping to preserve Egypt's royal line. The Hittite king hesitated, unsure whether to trust the request. Politics and fear made every decision perilous. Within Egypt, anticipation and tension filled the palace. The nation waited for signs of foreign aid or betrayal. Even in his short life, preparations were made for the pharaoh's eternal resting place, hidden deep within the Valley of the Kings. Master craftsmen carved hieroglyphs, painted murals, and gilded treasures. Every detail told the story of the boy king's life and reign. The central chamber awaited Tutankhamun's arrival, filled with golden treasures, ceremonial furniture, and sacred objects to guide him in the afterlife. Though the tomb was small, it concealed the wealth and history of a pharaoh who ruled briefly yet left an indelible mark. Thousands of years later, in 1922, Howard Carter opened the tomb. The world gasped at the untouched splendor of Tutankhamun's treasures. The iconic mask emerged first, an everlasting symbol of a boy who ruled a great nation and captured the imagination of generations. Tutankhamun's short life ended long ago, but his legacy of a boy king navigating a kingdom in crisis still echoes through Egypt's monuments, art, and history. After Tutankhamun's burial, the tomb was sealed carefully, hidden among the cliffs of the Valley of the Kings. Time and sand would preserve it for millennia. For centuries, the boy king's name faded from memory. His tomb remained undiscovered, buried beneath centuries of sand and rock. In the early 20th century, explorers returned to the valley, guided by maps, inscriptions, and persistent curiosity. On November 4, 1922, Howard Carter uncovered the first steps into Tutankhamun's tomb. The moment would forever change our understanding of Egypt. The antechamber held countless treasures, statues, chariots, ceremonial furniture, all perfectly preserved under centuries of dust. Beyond the antechamber, the inner burial chamber awaited, the sarcophagus encasing the boy king, surrounded by priceless gold, jewelry, and sacred objects. Crowning the pharaoh's remains, the golden funerary mask symbolized power, divine connection, and eternal protection. Modern science allowed experts to examine Tutankhamun's remains, X-rays, CT scans, and DNA studies revealing his health, lineage, and cause of death. Studies show Tutankhamun suffered from malformations, malaria, and fragile bones. Yet his reign demonstrates resilience, responsibility, and hope for his people. Though his life was brief, Tutankhamun's tomb preserved his story. Through science, archaeology, and history, the boy king continues to inspire the world. Tutankhamun's tomb was sealed, leaving the boy king to rest in peace among gold and offerings. For over 3 millennia, the tomb remained hidden, preserving history beneath the desert sands. 20th century archaeologists returned to the valley, uncovering the boy king's hidden treasures. Howard Carter opened the tomb's doorway, revealing an unprecedented discovery for Egyptology. The world saw golden chariots, jewel-encrusted furniture, and ceremonial masks, untouched for thousands of years. The discovery sparked global fascination, captivating historians, artists, and the public. Tutankhamun's story teaches resilience and leadership. Even in youth, he restored Egypt's traditions. Modern science reveals his health, lineage, and enduring mysteries through CT scans and DNA analysis. His tomb, treasures, and story continue to inspire, a bridge between ancient history and modern curiosity. From the Nile sands to museums worldwide, Tutankhamun's legacy endures, proving a short life can leave an eternal mark.